I'm Miles Martin, and I want to talk about stonework, how I handle stones, why, so that people who are looking at my materials or my finished product on the internet will understand that I've done this myself at home in Nenana, Alaska. Here's my home. It's a one-room log cabin. I barely have electricity. I specialize, but not exclusively, in Alaska rocks. I go out in the wilderness and live off the land while I'm looking for rocks, wood, and fossils. So you can see I'm fishing, I'm eating, I'm living subsistence off the land hundreds of miles into the wilderness. I've got some beautiful scenery, and it's all a business write-off, which is kind of cool. So here's some huge valleys of rocks. I go to some specific areas to get specific rocks. Here is a layer of rocks from the Ice Age, from ancient glaciers. Here's a valley I often go to. I'm a snowbird in Tucson, so here's a place outside of old Tucson where I get some rocks. Sometimes I find turquoise. I bring them home, and you could see I've got quite a lot stockpiled here in my shop. So when it's not Alaska rocks, I love opal and I love turquoise. So here's some turquoise I cut myself. Here I'm working on a design for a necklace. Here's some Peruvian blue opal. And here is some lab opal that I just cut and polished and I'm trying to match. Here's some earrings I made from that opal. I do all my own casting and I've got all kinds of choices in opal. But my real joy is in the exclusive Alaska rocks. This is Nowitna River agate found only on the Nowitna River that runs into the Yukon near Ruby. This is a conglomerate from up on the North Slope with no name. This is dinosaur bone that I sometimes get. And here's just a mix of different Alaska rocks that I cast caps for. And I can cut matched sets of rocks to make custom necklaces. This is what my home looks like in the winter. So I sometimes go to Tucson, and here I'm at the quartz site looking over lots and lots of dinosaur bone in the rough and some tiger eye. Later on, I sell at the Tucson Fossil Show. I've been selling at the Days Inn there for almost 20 years. So I know most of the dealers that I want to be in touch with, and they set aside material for me. So here I am at the rock show getting some nice blue tiger eye, doing my deals. I finally get them back home to Alaska to my shop where I can cut them up and look at them, see what I have, make some cabochons. This is my rock saw. You can't see it working very well like I hoped, but anyway, it's got a automatic feed to it using a pulley and a can with weights in it. After I make a slice, I move over to my diamond wheel table where I actually give the rock some shape. One of the reasons I got into cutting my own rocks was, number one, I couldn't afford really nice cut rock, and there's a lot of beautiful rough out there. And I could also cut the rocks exactly the way I want, and I wanted it double-sided that you could flip over and it would be nice on both sides, since I do my own casting for the tops. So here I am loading up my tumbler, ready to polish it after it's been through the rock saw and the diamond wheel grinder. And this isn't an ordinary tumbler. It's vibratory. It's expensive. It does in a day what a rotary one does in a month. I can do the whole process in about 4 days. So here I am adding carbide grid. I have about 3 stages of that to go through. A little soap and water. I don't have running water in the shop, so I have to keep it in a bottle. I can handle 4 or 5 pounds of rock in a batch, and then that's quite a lot of rocks. It ends up being about 50 items. There's a lot I had to learn. You have to keep rocks of the same hardness together in one batch and don't try and mix different hardnesses. So I go 3 to 4 different grits, and then one of my finals is here. in wood chips to give a final polish. So this is what a collection of the finished product can look like. All kinds of stones, all capped, all handled in a different way. I have a website, which is my landing page. That is a link to everything about me, my knives, my art, my books. And this is where you will find links to videos and my blogs and everything about me. This is the QR code. If you have a phone and you want to scan it, it'll go right to my site.